Hello and welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Today we're here with Bryan Hall, who is the owner of KNE Content Creation. He specializes in marketing, graphic design, music, logo making, you name it. Bryan, how's it going?
Very good. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, how was your weekend?
Not bad. It was a lot of work. It was actually my birthday this weekend.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks. I'm getting older, so I don't really want to talk about it.
It happens.
Maybe we keep that out of there. Yeah,
Great. Well, we look forward to talking to you. We're going to go do a quick commercial, and we'll be right back.
We believe every person is created in the image of God with immeasurable beauty and worth, that people should not be defined by their present condition or past mistakes. We are all broken. We need each other. Healing for our brokenness begins with connection, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. And with healing comes change, the potential for joy and meaning. No one was created for mere survival on the streets, for an existence blurred by mind-numbing substances. Each person is created with a purpose, a unique gift no one else can offer the world. Our job is to help them rediscover it. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
This is Looms Day in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Blooms Day.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Blooms Day wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
Welcome to Apex Plaza, Spokane's one-stop cannabis destination. Apex Cannabis features thousands of economy, value, and luxury cannabis products. Cannagear features hemp-based CBD products, glass, goods, and gear. Stop by 1325 North Division to experience the Apex difference.
This product has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risk associated with the consumption of this product. For use only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome back to The Pulse. So Bryan, talk to me a little bit about KNE Content Creation. How did you start the business?
So it's funny. It's actually KNE Content Creation, right? But,
okay.
But you know, everybody says KNE, so I was like, I don't have time to correct them. So I was like, forget it. It's KNE now. So because if you see the logo actually has a cane in it. So
okay.
But, you know, obviously I didn't do a very good job of that because people are like, oh, KNE. And I'm like, you know, okay, all right, cool, yeah, whatever, sure. we'll go with that, yeah. So I started it. I was kind of playing around with the idea of starting a business when I was working for other corporations. And so I decided, I was like, you know, I might as well just do this because I like doing it and I like doing a lot of different stuff. So I can incorporate, I love doing audio engineering, music, sonic branding, love playing the piano, love, you know, making designs, and just kind of being creative. So I was like, you know, I might as well do something that I like to do and, you know, work with individuals in the community, because that's really the biggest thing, is I like working with people in the community and actually delivering a service where I can create a relationship.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So of those things you mentioned, music, logo making, graphic design, what would you say is your favorite to do?
I would say music. Music's my first love, definitely. I love making music, love playing the piano. It's kind of just how I get everything out, you know, if I'm being kind of a artistic person, you know, about it, where kind of gets out my emotions, not to get all dreary about it, but yeah, I would say that, definitely logo making. I like, I don't know why, but I really like, when things, fit very well, like, you know, the dimensions are right. I think it just kind of eases my anxiety or something. I don't know what it is, but it's probably some kind of, you know, issue I have that I'm using design to kind of take care of it. So
okay,
yeah,
gotcha. And so you studied psychology in college. So how did you take that 180 and go into marketing?
You know, it kind of was natural. It was just something that I liked doing. I would say though that the psychology aspect though has helped me. I think it was an important thing, because I think one thing that I kind of sat on a little bit was, I've noticed that a lot of people that will design or do something for another person in the sense of art will treat the individual or the company or whoever it is that they're talking to, the representative, like they're stupid or like they don't know what they're talking about, because they have some type of, you know, they're this great artist or whatever that can do all these things for someone who doesn't know. And that's not the case. You're the interpreter. Most of the time, people have a pretty good idea of what they want. They can see it in their mind, but they just can't put it on paper. So a lot of the times I have to speak to people and I'll say, hey, can you draw the logo that you would like? And they're kind of uneasy and they're like, okay, I don't want to, you know, because the thing is a lot of times people draw like stick figures, you know, and it looks like, you know, for lack of a better word, it looks like garbage. But the thing is though, is a simple, you know, garbage drawing gives me an idea of what you want. And a lot of the times people will come up with things that are phenomenal that I'm like, I don't know if I could have came up with that, because they were spending all their time thinking about their own logo. I'm not spending all my time thinking about one person's logo. I have way too much stuff going on to think about that. So they've perfected and cultivated and thought out their own logo quite a bit. So sometimes people have that. Sometimes people go, I have no idea. That's okay as well. But I think the biggest thing is understanding that the person that you're doing work for, they're not stupid. They're not unartistic. They just can't, they don't have the skills or the education to put what it is that they have in their mind on paper.
Totally. They've got the ideas and you put them into play.
That's how I see it, you know, because if that relationship didn't coincide, I mean, you're going to be just running around in circles the whole time and you're not going to get the client or whoever it is what they want. It's just not going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what are some businesses in Spokane or in the area that you've worked with or that KNE has partnered with?
It's okay. It's KNE now. Forget it. It's KNE. It's whatever you want to call it at this point. So,
are there any that we would be familiar with?
A lot of, well, I'm working with your company. So
that's right.
Yep. So there is, I've done a lot of work with nonprofits. I've done some with some companies not necessarily in the area. There is a nonprofit called Black Men Heal. It's based out of Philadelphia. I've done a lot of work with them. NSTEP, which is a organization here in Spokane that actually is helping to reform gang members and keep kids off the street for gang violence. Haynes Holdings is another one, Jarrell Haynes. That's kind of the bigger ones. Other people, it's kind of been here and there, and some companies that I just can't think of right now because I'm on the spot. So, yeah.
No worries. No worries. So talk a little bit about what you'll be doing for us, because you're going to help out with some of our rebranding.
That's probably a good idea, yeah. So the hope is if Kent will be nice enough to let me be a little more artistic about it, is recreating the logo and just kind of just revamp, updating it essentially. You don't want to go crazy and create a completely new logo, because then you've just lost, your aesthetic. People are going to go, okay, I don't know who this is anymore because it's completely changed. If I put like a gorilla and a baby, I don't know why that was what came to mind, but it's something crazy that has nothing to do with Spokane Talks Media. So that we may be talking about a few other things, but that's kind of, on the down low. So,
okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, so. Super secret.
Yeah. Super secret. Yeah. It makes me feel cool. Yeah.
And then I know you want to touch on Hutton a little bit.
Yeah. So, you guys recently had a conversation with Chud Wendell.
Yeah.
He is the president out at Hutton. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because that's something that's close to my heart, something that I wouldn't be in the position that I am if I, wasn't at Hutton Settlement.
Yeah.
I think a big thing that drives me in just anything that I do, especially in the professional realm and even in my personal life, is representation. So something that I think is very valuable to realize, and this is for people who are in this position, is say you come from a children's home, you come from a background where it wasn't awesome at all. So it's difficult to figure out how to help, especially when we have such a finite amount of time just within our day and in our weeks. Especially if you become extremely busy or you run your own company. So it doesn't really stop. So I think a huge thing is representation, because when I think about how busy I am, I think to myself, I go, okay, and right now I can't go out there because of COVID, but I typically want to go out there and kind of, be around the kids and, just talk to them and kind of give them a little bit of insights and talk about, life after Hutton and what, whether it be about mental health or whether it be about simply just getting your schoolwork done. And I find myself not having enough time. And so I'm able to go out there every once in a while. But I realized something, that it's the representation. It's the fact that I go out there and I say, hey, I'm doing this, or I'm running a business, or I'm working for so-and-so, or, my career is taking off, or my relationships are better than they used to be. I think simply just being there and showing that is a huge thing. And so that's something that I've realized that really drives me, is that if I do better in my career, whether it be monetary value or just, amount of clients, or even something like this where I am having a conversation / interview. I know we like to call it conversations here, but doing something like this right here is a representation. They go, oh, okay, Brian's in a, he's in a nice shirt. At least I think it's a nice shirt. But Brian's in a nice shirt. He's doing an interview. He looks all professional. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm doing it, and it's something that the kids can see and go, how do I do that? How do I get that?
Absolutely.
So it's much easier. It takes a load off of yourself, and I think a lot of people need that, especially right now when they're not able to see people. So
kind of acting as a role model to them.
Even if it's something that's a little more distant, and it's not necessarily hands-on. So you don't necessarily have to be there physically to have that representation.
Totally.
And I think that's something that people are struggling with, not just people that are from a children's home or the similar background that I'm from, but I think people just in general, I mean, their nieces, their nephews and stuff like that. I think, there's a way to virtually or, kind of put that out there. So
yeah. So have you been able to maintain those ties with Hutton a little bit?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Which is pretty much, like I call or, whatever, and they give me crap. So I'm like, okay, you guys still like me. So yeah, it's like, if someone talks a little shit to me, then I'm like, oh, okay, we're on good terms. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's how that works.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So before we go, let's just talk about what the future of KNE Content Creation looks like, or your individual future.
The individual part, I don't know if I can touch on that.
That'll be later.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I got some problems. I would say with KNE, I would like it to be like a full-fledged media company. Mm-hmm. Right now, I would say the biggest thing, like short-term future, is having more people on my team than I do now, which is very few, so that we can actually get to all the people that have been calling. Mm-hmm. It's difficult, but we get to it and we'll freelance out, and we got people that we can talk to. I know Talk Fast Social, they're a company here. Erica Jo Norris owns that, phenomenal company. They're, people that we will talk to, phenomenal company. But I would say, it's mostly just making sure that we can kind of have our own space, make things a little more legitimate. I mean, having our own audio studio would be, that would be phenomenal. I'd lose my shit maybe I shouldn't say lose my shit. I would have fun with that. But just making things upscale a little bit more, having a little bit more equipment and a little more availability to do large projects, huge projects. So
okay,
that would be all in the sake of just I want to do some fun stuff. So yeah, that's really what it comes down to. People are like, are you in it for the money? I'm like, dude, I just want to do something cool.
So. You've got plans in the works, it sounds
exactly,
like.
Yeah.
So if people want to reach out to you, hire you to help boost their marketing for their business, what's the best way to reach you?
I would say through the website is going to be the best way. What we can do, we can put a link underneath the video and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I should have asked that before. Now I sound stupid. But yeah, I'll go ahead and put a link. We'll put a link under the video and put some other ways to get in contact with me. Phone, email, Morse code,
sounds
carrier
great.
pigeon, whatever. So we'll put it all down there. People are going to be able to easily access me. So
sounds good. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the Pulse of Spokane. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.